going to start my pre-trip with my my clearance lights, my four-way flashers, and my turn signals. They're not cracked, bent, or broken. They're the proper color of amber. They all work. I'm going to check my headlights, both the high beams and the low beams. They're not cracked, bent, or broken. They're properly mounted, secured, and they work. They're going to check to make sure that my truck is not leaning to the left or the right. That could indicate suspension or tire damage. And I'm going to look underneath to make sure that I'm not I don't have any puddles or drips coming from the engine or transmission. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open the engine. I'll open it from the side here. I'm going to check my coolant reserve is properly mounted and secured. It's not cracked, bent, or broken. Between the full and the add mark, it's in good condition, and the cap is secured. I'm going to go from there to my power steering pump. My power steering pump is properly mounted and secured. It's not cracked, it's not bent, it's not broken, it's not leaking. The cap is on secured and it's filled to the appropriate level between the add and the full mark. I'm then going to check my oil cap. My oil cap is on securely. It's properly mounted and secured. It's not damaged or leaking. I'm going to check my dipstick. My oil is in good condition. It's filled between the add and the full mark, and the cap is on secured. I'm then going to go to my gearbox. My gearbox is properly mounted and secured. It's not cracked, bent, or broken. It's not leaking. I'm going to check my pitman arm, my drag link, my steering knuckle, and my tie rod end are all properly mounted and secured. They're not cracked, bent, or broken. All castle nuts and cotter pins are in place. My joints are not wallowed out or have any excessive wear. I'm then going to go to my suspension system. Okay, so my front and rear spring mounts are properly mounted and secured. They're not cracked, bent, or broken. They're not missing any parts. The leaf spring is properly mounted and secured. Not cracked, bent, or broken. The springs are not shifted from the front to the back. Then I'll go down to all of my air lines and hoses are all properly mounted and secured. They're not cracked, bent, or broken. There are no abrasions, bulges, cuts, or leaks. That goes for all my lines. I'll then check to make sure that my brakes are free of contaminants. There's no oil or grease or anything that could cause braking problems. I'll go from there to my, I would actually check for my airbags on each axle. Make sure that they're properly mounted and secured on the top and the bottom, and that they have no abrasions, bulges, cuts, or leaks. I'll then check my steer tire. My steer tire is free of abrasions, bulges, cuts, or leaks. It's worn evenly. I will take a gauge and I'll measure that I have at least 4/32 of an inch of tread on my steer tire and 2/32 of an inch on all other axles. It's inflated to the proper manufacturer specification that I will check with a gauge at my valve stem. My valve stem is accessible. It's capped with a metal cap. They're both in place. I'll then go to my rim. My rim is properly mounted and secured. It's not cracked, bent, or broken, and it has no illegal welds. I'll then go down to all my lug nuts. All my lug nuts are properly mounted and secured. They're all there. None are loose. There are no shiny threads, no rust trails, and they're all round and in place. I'll then check my frame from the front of the truck to the back of the truck. It is properly mounted and secured. It's not cracked, bent, or broken. It's free of illegal welds or holes. I'll then move back and I'll get to my mirror. My mirror is properly mounted and secured. It's not cracked, bent, or broken. It's not missing any parts. It's free of obstruction and it's set to meet the driver. I'll then look at all my lights all the way down the trailer. All my marker lights, my clearance lights, my turn signals, and my four-way flashers are all the proper color of amber. They're not bent, cracked, or broken. They all work. I'll then get to my battery box. My battery box cover is mounted and secured. And if possible, I will check to make sure that all the connections are tight and free of excessive corrosion. I'll then come back to my DEF tank. My DEF tank is properly mounted and secured. It's not cracked, bent, or broken. It's not leaking. The cap is on and secured. I'll then come back to my diesel tank. My diesel tanks are properly mounted and secured. They're not cracked, bent, or broken. They're not leaking. The caps are on and secured. I will then come back to my Electrical line. My electrical line is mounted securely from the back of the tractor to the electrical box on the trailer. It's not ripped, torn, or frayed. There are no loose wires or electrical tape that would indicate recent repair. My air lines and my electrical line are free of abrasions, bulges, cuts, or leaks, and they are not dragging on any part of the tractor or trailer. They are not leaking. The glad hand seals are in place and not leaking. My frame and cross member on the trailer is properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. It's in good condition. My coupling system, my apron is properly mounted, secured, it's not cracked, bent, or broken. It's free of any damage that I can see. It is mounted to kingpin that is properly mounted, secured, it's not cracked, bent, or broken. The locking jaws are securely locked around the shank of the kingpin. My locking handle is in a locked position. My slide pins are also in a locked position. The slide plate pivots freely, is greased, and is positioned in a way that my landing gear will not strike the tractor in a turn. For that also. My DOT tape is in good condition. It wraps all the way around the vehicle, onto the other, around the back and onto the other side. I will check all of my rear facing lights. My brake lights, turn signal lights, clearance lights are all properly mounted, secured. They're not cracked, bent, or broken. All rear facing lights are the proper color of red. I'll get back to my landing gear. My landing gear is properly mounted, secured. It's not bent, broken, or it's not bent, cracked, or broken. It's not missing any parts. The landing gear is raised fully. The landing pad foot is not bent, broken, or damaged. My locking handles is locked securely in the cradle. I'll check my airlines. My airlines are properly tied up. They're not dragging the ground. They're free from abrasions, bulges, cuts, or leaks. I'll check my tandem locking arm is in a locked position, and my tandem locking pins are also in a locked position. Come back to the rear of the trailer. All my rear facing lights are properly mounted, secured. They're not cracked, bent, or broken. They're all the proper color of red, and they all work. All the lights on the truck work. Those include my clearance lights, my running lights, my turn signals, my four-way flashers, my brake lights, my license plate. Proper color clear, and it works. This concludes my exterior pre-trip.